Hi everyone, in this lesson we're going to do an introduction to the minor pentatonic scale, which is probably the most commonly used scale on the guitar. It's a really simple one to play. It's great for beginners because it's only got 5 notes, which makes it a really easy pattern to learn. Now, in total there are 5 patterns to the pentatonic scale. We're just going to be learning the first one in this lesson. It's a really good idea to just do these patterns one at a time and get good with each one of them before you try and move on to the next, because all of the patterns use exactly the same note. So if you can't play something with the first pattern, you're not going to be able to play something with the second pattern. I will, however, show you a slight extension to the first pattern in order that you can move between a higher and a lower pattern in order to just get a few extra high notes and a few extra low notes. Okay, so I'll start by showing you the first pattern then. So this is going to be done in the key of A, so this will be the A minor pentatonic. So we want to first of all start on the 5th fret of the low E string, then have the 8th fret, go down to the A string and play the 5th fret followed by the 7th fret, go down to the D string, play the 5th fret followed by the 7th fret, down to the G string, and then same again, 5th fret and 7th fret, and down to the B string, and then this time 5th fret, then 8th fret, and then finally the top E string, 5th fret, and then 8th fret. Okay, so that gives you pattern 1. Okay, so the notes we're actually playing there then are A, C, D, E, G, then go back to A, C, D, E, G, A, then we have another C there. So the root notes then are to be found here on the 5th fret of the 2 E strings, and also here on the 7th fret of the D string. So those notes are all A, they're all your root notes. Okay, so I'll just play through the pattern again, but this time I'll talk about the fingers that we use. So here at the 5th fret we're going to be using our first finger. We're then going to play with our little finger. Okay, that's because what we're doing is we're playing in a sort of box shape, whereby we're lining up the fret with our fingers. So that means that anything in this 5th fret will be played with my first finger, anything in the 6th will be played with the 2nd finger, anything in the 7th fret will be played with the 3rd finger, anything in this 8th fret will be played with the little finger. So we have the first finger, then the little finger, first finger, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. Okay, and that's really useful when you want to move this shape around, remembering it, rather than remembering it by the frets, but remembering it by finger position, because when you want to move to another position then you just have to remember which fingers you're using. So another way of playing that is to use the 3rd finger on the top 2 strings. So I'll show you what I mean. So you start off here as before, going 1 4, then 1 3 1 3 1 3, but here, whereas before we went with our little finger, going with our 3rd finger instead, and then the same there on the top string. So that'll be 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3 again, but going up to the 8th fret, 1 3. That can be really useful if you want to do some string bending there, because it's a good idea to bend with the 3rd string. It makes it a lot more accurate than trying to bend with the little finger. Okay, so as I said before, this is the A minor pentatonic, and that's because when you play this pattern starting on an A note, which is here on the E string, then it will be the A minor pentatonic. So if you wanted to change this to, say, make it a B minor pentatonic, all you have to do is change that first note to a B. If you play exactly the same pattern now, then you have the B minor pentatonic. If you want to say a G minor pentatonic, all you have to do is find the G note on the low E string, which is here at the 3rd fret, play the same pattern, and you have yourself a G minor pentatonic. So what I'll do now is I'll show you all of the notes on the low E string so that you always know exactly where to go to find any particular root note. So first we have the open E, then we have F at the first fret, F sharp at the second, G at the third, G sharp at the fourth, A at the fifth, A sharp at the sixth, B at the seventh, C at the eighth, C sharp at the ninth, D at the 10th, D sharp at the 11th, then we get up here to the 12th fret, we're back to E again. You may have noticed there that two of those notes didn't have a sharp. Those were the B and the E. There is no B sharp and there is no E sharp. So as you're going up, every single note will have a sharp except for the B and the E. Okay, so I'll now go down showing you all the notes and the flats. So here at the 12th fret we have the E. We then have E flat, so it's exactly the same note as a D sharp, means exactly the same thing. We then have D, D flat, C, B, no C flat, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, and then E. Again, F doesn't have a flat there, so no C flats and no F flats. Okay, so once you know those notes, you can find any pentatonic scale that you want. So for example, if I now played this pattern again, and I want to say play that in the key of C, so a C minor pentatonic, all I have to do is find the C note along the E string, which is here at the 8th fret, play exactly the same pattern, and I have the C minor pentatonic. Okay, so as I said before, it's a good idea to learn just that pattern and get good with it before trying to move on to any of the other patterns. But what I will do is I will show you a slight extension to that pattern that just gives you access to a few of the lower notes from the 5th pattern and a few of the higher notes from the 2nd pattern. So what we're going to do is start here on the 3rd fret of the low E string. So this is a G note, but we're still going to be playing the A minor pentatonic here. We're just not starting on the root note. So we're going to go 3-5 on the E, followed by 3-5 on the A. And I'm going to slide that up to 7. We then play 5-7 on the D, 5-7 on the G, slide that up to the 9, bring your first finger onto the 8th fret of the B string and play 8-10, then move up to the top E and play 8-10 again. Okay, then backwards we go 8, then 10-8 on the B, then I use my second finger here to play 9 on the G string and then slide that back to 7, then 5 on the G, then 7-5 on the D, then 7-5 on the A, slide that back to 3, and then 5-3 on the E, and then I usually finish by playing 5 again on the low E string there, just so that we're finishing on the root note.